Super Mario 64. Mr. Video Game's forced foray into the 3D realm. Known for many things, it's easy to say that Mario 64 was one of the most influential games ever made. But did you know that there was going to be a direct follow-up planned for the game? Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Super Mario 64 2. Or Super Mario 128. Or Super Mario 64 2 again? Buckle in. This is going to be a long one. Originally planned to come out in 1999, Super Mario 64 2 was going to be the premier title for the N64 add-on, the disk drive. It was going to utilize many of the disk drive's features, which in 1997, Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto elaborated on.
We're in the middle of preparing Mario 64 2 for release on the 64DD. I'd like to take full advantage of the 64DD's ability to store information. As of now, Luigi's also a full part of the game, but we haven't started thinking about two-player gameplay with Mario and Luigi yet.
Only a year after the original, Miyamoto and his team already had an idea of what the game was going to be about. It would let the player control both Mario and Luigi at the same time. This gameplay would consist of Mario and Luigi being separated and having to solve puzzles together. For example, Luigi could stand on a switch, and then the player could switch over to Mario, so Mario could go into the door and grab a Power Star. While Mario 64 2's development was starting to find its footing, Miyamoto began to put more time into Zelda 64, which had recently been delayed by over a year, meaning that Mario 64 2 would have to be put on the back burner until further notice. The last thing he said about the game was,
"The prototype of Mario 2 has been kept on my desk and remains untouched. Luigi and Mario are running on the display I have."
Fans eagerly awaited year after year, and throughout the rest of the 90s, we got nothing. But then, the 2000s came, and with it, the reveal of Nintendo's brand new console, the GameCube. At the same time, we also got a look at the next game in the Super Mario series. Of course, this wasn't what fans expected, nor should it be. While this was called Super Mario 128, it was not intended to be the direct follow-up to Mario 64. Though, much of the technology shown in this tech demo was planned to be used in the real Mario 64 2, now being planned for the GameCube and being called Super Mario 128. Now, while one team began development on Super Mario 128, another separate team also started working on a similar game called Super Mario 64 2, also planned for the GameCube. This game was going to have 4-player multiplayer instead of 2, and in addition to Mario and Luigi, Peach and Toad would have also been playable. Yoshi was also planned to be playable in this game, but we don't know if this was as its own character or as a power-up like in Super Mario World. Unfortunately, this is where everything goes downhill for the sequel. Yoshiaki Koizumi, the co-director of Mario 64 and the director for the Mario 128 tech demo, he went on to direct 2002's Super Mario Sunshine, with Miyamoto being a producer on that project. And as time went on, we would just hear less and less about the sequel, only knowing that it was still in active development. And it was, but Miyamoto was quickly losing passion for this project, as he began to focus on games for Nintendo's upcoming home console, the Nintendo Wii. And by 2005, most of the teams working on the sequel had gone on to work on other projects. All but one, the Super Mario 128 team. One day, Koizumi decided to check in on the 128 team to see what they were working on. They had a few prototypes running around in the office, but there was one that caught his eye. It was Mario, running around a spherical platform, using the same physics engine Koizumi helped develop for the 128 tech demo back in 2000. So, Koizumi, with the approval of Miyamoto, decided that this would be the next mainline Mario game, which eventually became Super Mario Galaxy. But what about Super Mario 128? Well, at the Game Developers Conference 2007, Miyamoto had this to say when asked about the project.
The one question I'm always asked is, what happened to Mario 128? The purpose of that demo was to show how the new technology in the GameCube could dynamically change the nature of Mario games. So when people ask me what happened to it, I'm always at a loss to how to answer it, because most of you have already played it. But you've played it in a game called Pikmin.
This was the final nail in the coffin for Super Mario 128, and along with it, a proper sequel to Super Mario 64. So why we never got a sequel to Mario 64? This game is what helped pave the way for several games in the future. Of course, we already talked about Pikmin and Super Mario Galaxy, but elements of the 128 tech demo were even used in games like Metroid Prime and Twilight Princess. And those are only the ones that we know about. We got Luigi in 64 DS, a wideable Yoshi eventually came in Galaxy 2, and 4-player multiplayer was the main feature of 3D World. And with games like Super Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury on the Switch, the future of 3D Mario is as bright as a power star.
Here we go!